Welcome back to Vail, Colorado, and Adaptive Spirit. Now, in our last episode, we explored the origins of adaptive spirit, how an idea born inside the cable industry became something far more enduring, became a community, a movement, and a force for good. But if episode 1 was about the why, this episode is about the who. And I'm not talking about the British rock band, I'm talking about the athletes. Welcome to the great indoors, and in an age where information seems to be moving faster than meaning, where we're constantly connected but not always truly in conversation. I'm your host, Matthew Roberts, and as always, I'm joined by my producer, the one and only incredible Larissa Yee. So coming back to Vail, and what we are looking at in this episode, they're not just stories of resilience. They're stories of ambition, of discipline, of sacrifice, of family, of unimaginable lows, and through this, an unwavering commitment to perform at the very highest level. So we feature a lot of the athletes. You know, you'll hear from athletes like Jake Adikoff reflecting on a career that has spanned multiple Paralympic Games and moments of extraordinary success. From competitors such as the charming Sailor O'Brien, navigating the emotional realities of elite performance and where mindset can matter just as much as results. And from emerging voices like Audrey Crowley at the beginning of their Paralympic journey, already thinking about what comes next. I mean, all these conversations were just incredible. Ravi Drugan, his story stayed with both Larissa and I, still with me right now. Not just because of what he's achieved, but because of how he sees the world. A perspective shaped by incredible challenges, but grounded in something remarkably simple. To live fully, to embrace the moment, and to take whatever life presents and make something of it. And I'll be unequivocally honest here. The conversations in this episode affected me more than I ever expected. There are moments in conversations like these where the distance between myself, the interviewer, and the subject simply disappears. When you stop thinking about the next question and start reflecting on your own perspective. The amount of times my own children, family, and friends entered my thoughts with something I'd never felt before. It really helped me reflect and put my own life in true perspective. Because alongside the triumphs, you'll also hear the stories that don't follow a perfect script. Athletes like Kyle Talman, reflecting on when things didn't go to plan, but where the experience itself still carried enormous meaning. And yet, across all these conversations, there's a common thread. A mindset that embraces challenge, a willingness to do the hard things, and a perspective on life that, frankly, most of us don't encounter often enough. And you'll begin to understand that adaptive spirit isn't just support. Connection, the kind that allows these incredible athletes to share their stories and to inspire us, and in many cases to give something back to the very people who support them. And that's when this becomes something more than sport. So in this episode, we spend time with the athletes themselves. We hear their stories, their journeys, their triumphs, their setbacks, and in doing so, we begin to understand not just what they do, but who they are. Audrey Crowley from Team USA Alpine was a breath of fresh air.
I've been on the team for 4 years now. This is my 4th year. I have 1 World Championship medal and 4 World Cup medals. I'm here to Adaptive Spirit. Thank you. I'm here to Adaptive Spirit just to, raise awareness about our sport, raise money for our sport, meet all these incredible people here, get to hang out with my teammates and other friends. And I love being here. Every year it gets more and more fun, I think.
Yeah, awesome. Sailor O'Brien from Team USA Alpine is utterly charming.
I think I'm just kind of, it's end of the season for me for skiing, so things are just kind of starting to chill out and getting into, more summer off-season training. But, this is probably like one of my favorite events of the year, just to kind of close things, which is super awesome.
And what are you hoping to get out of the next few days here in Adaptive Spirit?
I think just like making authentic connections with people. is really kind of what I'm here for. And so, and I definitely have those every single time. But that's often kind of my mindset coming into this is, making as many authentic connections as possible.
And that's what we're about on this podcast. Because I know there's a technology angle to this event.
Yeah.
But I think you'll agree with me, Sailor, the best connections are the authentic human ones.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Or ones with your pets.
Yes.
100%. Team USA's alpine skier Ravi Drugan's personality was infectious.
I had an open mind because you think about skiing in a sit ski, you're up high off the ground, like this is like a balancing act. How about a sled? But we had a lesson with an instructor with Oregon Adaptive Sports. They gave me a scholarship for a half-day lesson. And by noon, me and my dad went skiing by ourselves, and we're skiing black diamonds in whiteout conditions. And I remember yelling at my dad because I was like, this is hard. And I'm like, is this a black diamond? And he looks at me, he says, we just ski down the mountain. It doesn't matter. So he taught me to ski down the mountain no matter what the conditions. And, I fell in love with skiing then, loved the challenge of it, and that's what keeps me ski racing is just the challenge. Like, can you do that good? Can you nail that course faster than someone else? So I never thought I'd be a ski racer. Like, I was more of a free skier and a park rat, and if you asked me 15 years ago, I'd been like, I wouldn't be caught dead in one of those spandex speed suits. But I do it now, and it's really just because, like, in 8th grade, I had a teacher that was like, write down what you want to be when you're older, right? And people wrote down mother, father, dentist, lawyer, doctor, right? I'm like, I don't know, right? I really thought about it, and I wrote down to live life to the fullest, enjoy every moment, and have no regrets. And that's really why I want to say got me to here, because it's just, you gotta take the opportunities that life presents itself and enjoy the ride.
Absolutely, and I think you're the absolute embodiment of that, Ravi. Really, absolutely.
I'd say the same to you for just being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Michael O'Hearn from Team USA Alpine just had an incredibly intelligent and fascinating perspective.
I started skiing independently before I walked, and it became a real sanctuary for me, a real sense of anatomical freedom and just a joy. I mean, I didn't have that kind of outlet navigating disability as a child, and I kind of progressed from there to level 1, racing, just scholarship opportunities, just intro to sport. And past 2 years, I've been training full time out of Park City, Utah. I was able to work my way up to some national rankings. I got a few podiums and some good results the past 2 seasons, and was able to secure a top 5 national ranking in giant slalom. This was my first games named to Team USA, and it was awesome. Yeah.
Kate Delson, a snowboarder with Team USA, not only had a fantastic games in Cortina, but she's something of a creator.
We're only on the world stage for a blimp. It goes by like that, right? But there's so much to get there for both Olympians and Paralympians. And we get started on the Mammoth team. I was training in an event called Slopestyle, just for fun. I was very passionate. I didn't miss a day of training. My coach called me crazy sometimes for not wanting to take 10 minutes to drink water because that was 2 laps gone. I've recovered from that. I drink water now while I'm snowboarding. But so there's local competitions in the U.S. by regions through this organization called USASA. And with USASA, you just sign up, you start regionally. So in Mammoth, I would compete in slopestyle, which is jumps and rails. And I had this run. I would always try to throw my 360, was my best trick and still is now in the runs. And then when I was a senior in high school, every year there's an event where all the regions come together, actually 20 minutes from here in Copper Mountain. I was just riding there today. Yeah. And we compete with everyone from all the regions, every kid, and you do it by age group or open class.
Like a national event.
Yes, it's called nationals. Yes, that's the word. Yeah. And I was competing in 17 and 18-year-old girls category. Yeah. And against able-bodied, so I was the only disabled person there, as far as I know. Okay. And I went there and I landed my run. It was a front 3, back 3, grab, and then probably a 50-50 and a board slide on the rails. Very simple run, but I had been working on it the past 3 seasons to be able to land that. And I did during the comp, and it got me a 3rd place at nationals. And still one of the medals I am most proud of.
Wow.
And then that same event, they had a small little adaptive race there, and a lot of the riders on the national team and the ones coming up came out just to say hi and have a fun competition, because I think it lined up with this event. And I met them, and I got introduced to a team in Utah that trained. And of course it was going to be a big change, going from having fun with my park team, being so embedded in that, to going to race, like going from my baggy park pants to skinny race pants. That was a bit for my mind to really want to do. That following year, that January, I went to my first race, which was in Finland with this new team. I was on Team Utah. And I thought it was really beautiful being surrounded by so many people with disabilities. You'd honestly forget on the hill that we are all disabled, and then you would see them off the hill and be like, hey, that guy's missing an arm. You wouldn't notice it on the hill.
Yeah.
And
I imagine as well being an international crowd, right, if you were in Finland.
Yes, very international, which was crazy to go from competing at my local little spot to go to a Europa Cup in Finland. Which our Europa Cups and North American Cups are combined with World Cups. Like they happen on the same day usually. So I was also with the top, like seeing the top athletes compete. And I was pretty hooked from there. That's when I decided I was going to go for the 2026 Paralympics. And that's when I realized logistically that I had a good shot of making the team.
Jake Adikoff from Team USA Nordic is as cool as he is successful.
It was great.
Yeah.
I had a big goal of 4 gold medals, and I nailed it.
You got 4 gold medals.
4 gold medals.
Did you really? My goodness.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Here on the Great Indoors, we have 4 gold medal, Jake Adikoff. Well done, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And do you have any of them on you?
I have one on.
Oh dear, there you go. Look, perfect.
I've been instructed to carry it around all weekend.
Yeah. Oh wow. Look at that.
There you go.
Look at that. We got a gold medal for the Great Indoors. Look at that. Well, congratulations. Yeah, that's incredible.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So it was a fantastic. And was it your first Olympics or?
4th Paralympics.
Oh, it was your 4th.
Yeah.
Oh wow. But this was the most successful medal haul you've had.
The most successful by a lot. Yeah.
Oh my word, that's incredible. That's really incredible. So it feels very much like a bit of a celebration this week then. It's
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. And you were out in Italy the whole time, and with the rest of the team. There was a great atmosphere. I imagine the memories will stick with you for the rest of your life, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That was quite a fun Paralympic Games.
Yeah.
They have all been quite different.
Yeah.
This one, I think, was maybe the most fun of them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing to hold on to for a long time.
Yeah. Congratulations on the 4 medals.
Thank you so much.
Incredible. Amazing. We've never had a gold medal winner on this podcast ever before. So you're the first. And no, thank you very much, Jake. It's been brilliant.
Let's hear more from Ravi Drugan.
Beijing was my first Paralympics, so Cortina was my second Paralympics. It was really nice kind of knowing what I was getting into and everything, and not being during COVID was really nice. I mean, Beijing was better than I expected it to be, but Cortina, Italy, the Italians are just so nice. No matter what, like the little speed bumps you find, it's great there.
And the season's ended now, so do you have a break until it all comes back again? What are your plans?
Well, so I'm not only a member of the Paralympic team, but I'm also a member of the national team. So we're normally on the road 160, 170 days a year. So for instance, last season, about this time, we just are focused on S&C and gym time. And then August, we were down in South America training, and then again in September. So my season started last year in August with training, and then we race a full Paralympic or a full Para World Cup season. Yeah. So it gets busy. Yeah. So we only get a lot of time to train in the winter, and it's just...
But it's fun, right?
There's moments that are really fun, and there's moments you have to appreciate the journey and the travel, and just you know, the challenge. You don't always do something because it's easy. You gotta do something because it's hard. But it's when you do those hard things that you feel so much more rewarded at the end.
Yeah.
You know, like going back to Cortina, the downhill.
Yeah.
You know, I raced that hill 2 years ago, the exact same course, right? I probably skied that hill like 12 times now.
Yeah.
And every time, no matter how much fun it is, or you get to the bottom and you're like, yes, that was awesome. You get to that start and you're like, all right, what did I sign up for? All right, I can do this again today. But yeah, I mean, part of ski racing isn't just to be fast, it's also to enjoy the journey and to have the life experiences to make you a better person overall.
Here's Sailor O'Brien again.
Cortina was amazing. It's one of my favorite venues, and I've raced there a couple times previously to the games, and so there was a sense of familiarity as well going into it. And just such a beautiful place in Italy to have it, and it was an amazing sort of setup, and they did a really good job at going from transitioning from the Olympics to Paralympics and that whole thing. And I did all of the events, everything downhill to slalom, and so and had some really great finishes, which is amazing for my first Paralympic Games.
Oh, it was your first one?
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations then.
So yeah, no, it was amazing, and I'm stoked about it for sure.
Yeah, and here it's because obviously it only comes around every 4 years, and we're here. There's something quite prominent about that, right? Being at Adaptive Spirit, post Cortina, everybody sharing those stories and experiences. What was a moment for you, either in Cortina recently, your first Olympic? I imagine the whole thing was and just what incredible moment, right?
I think that the overall experience was really, really amazing. I think what's sticking out for me as I'm kind of, at the end of it, of processing it, is that I've actually kind of had like a pretty bad season mentally, going into the games, and that for sure has kind of gotten, into my skiing a little bit, and so I've been struggling a little bit with that as well. But going into the games, I just was like, I just want to try and like do it and, see what happens. I didn't want to have any sort of expectation or, too much pressure on myself. And so, I mean, really, I think what stuck out to me for this was that how I held those things accountable for myself as, you're here to have fun. You're here to just like ski, and it's, like, yes, it's the games, but it's also just another race. And just, having a good time and those runs just being exciting and doing the best that I can. And so I think, what stuck out was, how I kind of did that throughout the games and the mindset that I had and what that created for me.
Wow. And is there a coming together of the USA team? Does it feel like a family? Does it?
Yeah.
I imagine it must do.
It does, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, at the games, we had, at least at the Cortina Village, we had the three sports there at that venue. So we were only able to kind of be with those people and, not the entirety of Team USA.
But
the, sports and other teams that we were with, we were all just sitting together, at dinner, lunch, and breakfast, and having chats and, just kind of talking to each other about our sports and teaching each other things and learning. And, certainly coming here to this event where we have those mixed sports here and kind of getting to share stories and experiences of, how was your games and talking to them. And it certainly does, bring people together, and there's a sense of community for sure.
And this might be a strange question, but I
love that.
I'm British. I live in Canada. I'm Canadian as well. Who is the arch rival of the US Paralympic team?
Oh,
who do you love to beat? Or is there one?
I mean, not really. I think that, the US isn't a, ski racing country. And so in a lot of ways, it's just the entirety of Europe is kind of the rival.
Yeah, I see.
You know,
yeah,
and so it's more so of just, you know, we are kind of the underdogs in this sort of space and environments in our sport. And so it's quite tough to kind of be up against everybody else too.
But there's a good friendly atmosphere between the other
100%.
countries, right?
It's super awesome, friendly competition environment. You know, especially in the women's field. You know, it's awesome to have those ladies. I love, you know, racing with them, and it's so fun.
You could learn. I guess there's a lot of things to learn, right?
Yeah, totally. And you know, I get to watch them ski and you know, be like, hey, like what skill is that, or you know, whatever. You know, but get to, you know, play with, you know, have fun with each other, you know, and then when we go through the start, it's like, okay, like it's game time. And then when we go through the finish, we can go right back to supporting each other and just having fun again, which is awesome.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Audrey Crowley reflected on the impact her first Paralympic Games had on her.
It's always been the goal to go to the Paralympics and eventually win a Paralympic medal. So this was step one, like go to my first games, and I think I learned a lot. It's a pretty crazy experience. Like you don't really know what it's going to be like until you're there. But it was also really fun, and I can't wait to like have 4 years to learn from that time and be even better the next time.
Kyle Tolman from Team USA Alpine just had a multitude of fascinating stories.
Unfortunately, I didn't end up finishing my race. I had an issue with my equipment in the middle of my run. If you know anything about sit skiing, I use something called a mono ski, and I have basically a plastic bucket that I sit in, but I don't have my full core. So I have a taller back on my rig so that I can kind of push off of it, stay forward, be aggressive, and unfortunately that back broke, and unfortunately I wasn't able to finish, but
it's still a great experience, being.
I mean, I'm proud of what I did. You know, I made the most of the games in general. I said that going into the games, making the team, the world is so divided right now, and I think that the Olympics and Paralympics are so important in that, because it brings people together. And my other love is music. And those two loves, I think, are for the same reason of they bring people together from all over the world. People from completely different backgrounds, don't speak the same languages, but anyone can watch the Olympics or the Paralympics, listen to a song and just feel connected. And that's super special to me. But you know, I made the most of that at the games. I did some interviews with fellow athletes and things. I, you know, made content around the games. I did music at the games as well. I got to play some guitar, play some music. That was awesome. And then my competition, I was training well. I was in a great headspace, and me and my coach checked my gear. We check my gear all the time. We checked it the day before. After training, I trained great. Everything looked awesome, and unfortunately on the day it didn't work out. But I gave it everything. You know, I went out there trying to compete, trying to lay down a fast run. Some people just, you know, were trying to finish, and I respect that as well, but I was trying to race. I was trying to lay down the fastest skiing I could, and unfortunately it didn't end well, but it was a good DNF. Yeah. I've gotten to travel the world and meet so many incredible people, and you know, ski so many amazing places and do well in races here and there, you know. Obviously making it to the games in Italy was incredible. And it was my second games. My first was Beijing, but it almost felt like having a first games, because Beijing was still during COVID times. Yeah. So we had to wear masks. In the dining hall, we were all separated by plastic dividers, and this one was just so much more social. Like the feeling of togetherness was so incredible, and I loved it. Being in Cortina, it's a beautiful city. The Dolomites are incredible. All the volunteers I met there were amazing. That experience was just the culmination of all of the hard work over the last few years, you know. What I've learned talking to people, especially volunteers at the games and at our races and things, is that the parasite is so important, because we've all been through something, you know. It's all different experiences. Some people are wounded warriors who were injured in combat. Some people, like me, were injured when I was young, like around 2 years old. Some people were born with it, but we've all been through something. We all have challenges, and because of that lived experience, we all, I think, just have that, like, want to be around people and to bring people together. And you know, like I've been helped by so many people from other countries throughout my career. The Chilean team comes to train in Colorado quite a bit, and their coaches have helped me so much over the years. The New Zealand team, their coaches have helped me so much over the years, coaching me when they didn't have to. And when I was in Beijing, actually, I had, on a sit ski, we have 2 shocks, like motocross shocks, or we have a shock that kind of acts like our knees. I brought 2 to the games. Both of them blew at the games. And I went to my coaches and they looked at me and they were like, we can't help you. And so I wouldn't have been able to race, but I had trained with some of the Japanese team before. I speak just a little bit of Japanese. They spoke a little bit of English, and my rig was a Japanese rig, and I went to them and I was like trying to, you know, work with them, and thankfully they had a technician from the shock company, and not asking anything in return, they Frankensteined my 2 shocks together and got me on the hill to compete at the games and against their own athletes, you know? And that's so special. That's something that you a lot of times wouldn't even see at the Olympics, you know? It's something I think is specifically about the Paralympics, that we all just want to help each other. And at the end of the day, we're competing against each other, but it's my own performance that's going to win me a medal, that's going to put me on the top of the podium or get me anywhere close. And it's the same with them. Like, if their performance isn't good enough that day, if my performance is better, everyone's like, yeah, you skied better, you know? And that's just special because everyone's there to help each other as well and bring people together.
Here's Michael O'Hearn again.
It was my first games, and it's the thing I take the most pride in. This has been something I've been working towards for, you know, almost 2 decades now, and it truly is my sanctuary, my happiest place, my introspection. I think it's, you know, perfect blend of calm and chaos, and it's where I feel the most free. So to represent, you know, a story of perseverance, tenacity, grit, alchemy, and pride, in real action with real results, that means the world to me, to kind of showcase adaptive excellence, put us on the map, and represent, you know, disability excellence in sports. And so it was a phenomenal experience. You know, it was my first game, so it didn't go too well for me. It's kind of my Paralympic debut in the World Cup World Champ level. I just qualified earlier this season, so I couldn't really shake the nerves. I currently have a torn ACL, so it was not my best result or in how I really ski in qualifying events. But I was proud to just be there and proud to represent Team USA.
It's just the beginning.
It is just the beginning. New chapter for both of us, and we're stoked for future cycles.
Let's hear again from Kate Delson.
So first we went to Austria and we did a training camp. We just ripped around and had so much fun riding in Austria. We even signed up for a local bank slalom race.
Oh, really?
Where we just had just the time, you know, as the whole team cruising before the big show. And then we go to Venice, we do the whole welcome experience, and it was crazy. I've never been showered with so much attention and clothes and items. And then we show up in Cortina for the games. It becomes real by the first day, our first qualifications race. I was like, holy crap, you know, we're here with my teammates, one of whom I started. One of the girls whom I did the first race in Finland with. We were both becoming Paralympians together the first time. And then my other teammate I was competing with, Brenna, who I was just 3 years prior here in Colorado. I was starstruck when I first saw her.
Oh, really?
And here I was racing with her at the Paralympic Games.
Oh, wow. So Brenna was like a hero, like your role model.
Oh, yeah. As soon as I learned about the Paralympics, snowboarding, she was the first name that popped up. So I was like, that's Brenna Huckabee right there. She was standing right there, and I was like, hi.
Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool.
I won 2 medals at the Paralympic Games. And
wow, congratulations.
Thank you. And my family, I say I won, but I'm supposed to say we won, is how I think about it in my head.
Do you know what? You raised such a good point, because, and this is what I've got from these few days, from speaking with a lot of the competitors, you know, the family plays such a huge part in your success. Right? And we saw your family feature heavily in the opening video on the opening night. That's how you feel, like you feel that a lot of your success you can attribute to their support.
I mean, to my parents, 100% of my success I can attribute to them, because they made me. And I think about it a lot, how they helped me get here. whether, like, you could look at a service level, but they let me move to Mammoth. They paid for me to be on the Mammoth snowboard team when I was growing up. Like, that's service level. But then I look like, why was I so passionate that I wanted to be on the Mammoth team, that I came to training every day? And it's because my parents were so passionate about what they do in their respective fields, and I grew up observing that and being loved by people who are like that and surrounded by that constantly. So watching them be here and watching them watch my video, like, that's what's cool.
Do they get emotional? I bet they get super.
My dad got, I was obviously not really watching, but when I got my first medal, one of my mentors was filming him, and he was just, he tells me now, he just flashed back to when he was a kid watching the Olympics and the medal ceremony, and now he's watching his own daughter, and it was like really cool in the crowd, especially for my second medal, because they were able to actually get in there. They were, security was very heavy for the medal ceremony. Right. It's like, but for the second medal, they had fixed the process, and my parents were right there, and my family and my friends, and I got to just make eye contact with them while I was standing on the podium. And
when it comes to personalities, they don't get bigger than Patrick Holmgren from Team USA Alpine, silver medal winner in Cortina, and donning quite a fantastic tracksuit for the great indoors.
Oh, this whole thing? I got it out of the back of my closet.
And let's talk about this little thing here.
Oh, this silver medal here?
Yeah.
Yeah, they went back to pure silver, so it's nice and heavy. It's like almost half a kilo, you know.
And this is from Cortina recently.
Yeah, from 2026.
Was this was that your first Paralympic Games? Or
it was my second Paralympic Games. First one doing the speed events, which suit me better.
Yeah.
And really the first time I knew I could be competitive, maybe. It was a stretch too.
Right.
I'm probably 2 years away from my peak.
Yeah.
Of really like being like, all right, I got to win. I got to do good, you know, but this run, whatever. It's not about the medals, but I do play to win. Yeah. And I'm a realistic.
Yeah.
And I knew it would be a far shot to be competitive this year, but I cracked it. And like I was saying, I swear I could feel the love from all the people, specifically at this event, Adaptive Spirit.
Well,
they give me money that make it possible. The 11 years have developed my character into the man I always dreamed of. So I feel the exact same every day. Winning that medal was just a Tuesday for me, but for my parents to be there, for my mom to see the person who I've grown into over these 11 years, living in a caravan and you know, doing everything I can, working 3 jobs, and oh my God, it was so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was crazy because, you know, I'd just been trusting that process for all season, and you know, just been doing bad, having really bad crashes, physically beat up, mentally beat up. My really good mates who I usually roomed with broke his neck before the season. He just gone all season.
Yeah.
It was like the worst. And in hindsight now, it's like, I was at like the lowest of my life.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, shooting up to my parents' first international competition, seeing my dad in Italy, never been to Europe.
Oh, really?
He was just obsessed with the little moped trucks. He was these 2-stroke engines screaming by, he's chuckling and laughing. And the funniest part was I did that 4 years ago when I first went there, and it was not far from the tree, and it was super surreal moments. And that was, I thought I was on a mission from God. Just in all these crashes I was having. I remember my coach running up to me after I went through 2 red fences and tomahawked for 50 feet through, you know, light snow, like some rocks and tree stumps over there. And I'm just like, the street stooges, like, oh, look, I'm okay. Like, unreal. Everyone's like, yeah, man. Like, everybody knew it too. They were just like, you are so lucky you're not the season over in the hospital right now.
Oh my God.
And it was just like, all right, see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.
And my coaches preach trust the process.
Yeah.
And thank God they did.
Cool.
Audrey Crowley again.
I think my message is just like really hard work wins in the end. So really keeping that hard work, like don't let anything hold you back. And
it's very evident in Audrey. She's the moment. What she does is rooted in legacy, representation, and excellence. She's kind of trailblazed a new path for adaptive sports and women's sports. So we have a little hate-love relationship, but I just have all the love for you. And I would say My message is to, get involved in the community. Visibility carries representation. We want to represent excellence. We want to represent elite level athleticism, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
We run parallel to the Olympics in criteria, regimen, hard work, and discipline, and we've earned our spot here. We're stoked to be here. So, just look out for us for 2 up-and-coming
I think you're
athletes.
achieving that mission.
Thank you.
And I certainly think both of you are an inspiration.
Thank you.
Honestly, to me personally, and hopefully to our listeners.
Here's Sailor O'Brien.
What's on the horizon for you? What have you got planned?
Yeah, definitely take some time for myself. I mean, I don't know, I'm kind of like open and up in the air about, I guess what my plans are. I do a bit of rock climbing in the off season, so hopefully a bit more of that. And then also I'm an artist as well, and
wonderful.
Get to spend more time doing that. I'm actually in the beginning process of learning to be a tattoo artist.
Oh wow!
So hopefully I can get that start to
No, that's really cool. That's
Yeah.
really creative.
Yeah.
Let's hear from Patrick Holgren again.
Best movie ever made. Just came out, free on YouTube. Us and Them, a disabled ski film. That whole thing. I just had a movie come out, and it's gonna change the world.
You're in the movie?
Me and my 3 mates made this movie. It took us 7 years from COVID. It's the first ever fully disabled made, shot, directed, produced movie.
Okay, we're going to check it out.
It's so good.
We're going to promote that for sure.
Yeah, my 3 mates from New Zealand, all on sit skis, all filmed in New Zealand where they did Lord of the Rings. Have you guys heard of Lord of the Rings?
I've read the books as well,
Oh, well, you have to see the landscape. Don't worry, I've got it for you in my movie. But it's turned into this beautiful thing where I saw them grow and get interested in things, have this hobby that they've mastered. And I did the same thing with skiing, and it's it worked.
Awesome.
It all worked.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I was there last season, and we're looking around watching the edits, and it's crispy. He got a cinema red camera, like a $20,000 camera.
Yeah.
We cracked it.
Yeah.
And we're looking at these shots and editing them, and we're like, we did it, boys. We cracked it. We're rich. We're gonna be rich. Or we were saying we were gonna be rich.
Yeah.
But I'm looking around, and I'm like, we are rich.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the best part.
That's it.
We're all in the room. He's got screens he's built up. We're looking at these edits.
Yeah.
And I don't know all I did was move wheelchairs.
Yeah.
Really? and mess stuff up.
Yeah.
Honestly. Post. Yeah. I almost ruined the film twice.
Yeah. Oh, right.
And oh my God, it was the most beautiful thing I've ever been a part of.
Let's hear again from Kate Delson.
So, my passion, when I was originally on the Mammoth snowboard team training in Park, I pretty quickly realized that pretty low chance I could become a pro in slopestyle. I disagree with that right now. I think I believe in myself a lot more now than I did back then. But I was like, okay, how can I be involved with the snowboard world? And what I did was, I could be a filmer. I just need to get good enough to go off big jumps with cameras.
Yeah.
So,
but I've got all the accessories for the GoPro.
Yeah,
I can put it on my head. I can put it on my chest. There's lots of different, there's so many different accessories that you can buy to do this stuff.
It's crazy nowadays. This whole podcast is being filmed by action cameras.
That's it.
That
That's
is
what it's
pretty,
all about. That's what it's all about.
Cool.
And so have you made any and put anything out there? Yeah.
I made the thing I'm most proud of, which still is I made it in sophomore year of high school, I think.
Right.
I was just this short 5 or maybe less documentary about the adaptive program in Mammoth Lakes. Other than that, I just have fun on social media, making little reels and
on Instagram.
Yeah, that's fun. And then I don't usually do that good, but I enjoy it.
Cool.
It's editing snowboard clips, whether it's mine or my friends, is really fun.
Are you using any AI tools to help with your creations?
AI is embedded in everything pretty much. So I just have AI do stuff for me. It'll mask out when I'm editing photos. It'll just mask out the subject, or it'll mask out the background, and it can track in videos. That's really cool.
Because this was all created on AI, and then we turned it into a video.
yeah, I noticed
using
this.
headrest. Yeah,
So I was like the great indoors, and then
Yeah.
you see this person outside, and then I was looking closely, and I saw the prosthetic leg. I was like, that's really cool. I have fun with AI for sure.
Yeah.
And so, as we come to the end of this episode, what stays with you isn't just what these athletes have achieved. It's their mindset, the discipline and the perspective and the ability to keep going even when things don't go to plan. And as I said in my intro, I'll be honest, this one stayed with me. Because moments like these don't just inspire, they recalibrate. And they've changed how you see the challenge, how you define effort, and perhaps what you choose to value. And that's what makes this more than sport. So that's episode 2, and in the next episode we turn to the people behind all of it. All of it, the industry that supports it, sustains it, and shows up, the families, the crews, the board members, more athletes, and they do it year after year. Until then, this has been The Great Indoors.